Alright viewers, now I planned on making this video before it ended up being the topic, or before it ended up being the winner of my poll, and of course now it's going to start raining as soon as I hit start on the camera. But anyway, this is a generator I actually picked up pretty cheap. It takes one of these filters. God, let's see what this air filter looks like. The story I got on it was that it had gas in it that sat pretty long. That's not a good filter. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, because this will tell me a lot of things. Turn this to on. Now it does want to fire, if you hear that. Oh man, this pull cord is a bit. Can't be that easy. Alright, so it looks like it's only going to run if the choke's on. So that tells me a few things here. Tells me I need to put my gloves on. Hope I don't destroy the camera getting it wet. Ooh, these are nice gloves. We're going in. And I have something up there to make this job a little easier. Oh wow. They say XL, but oh wow, these things go all the way up my arm. The wife will like that when I don't smell like gas. Because it looked like it was just like spit and rain a little bit on the way up here. I'm like, I'll take the risk. So, based on the fact that it ran, I don't really need to go into a few things here. Let me see, what can you even see? Alright, cool, you can see the whole thing. There was no need to pull the, spark plug, check for spark, or anything crazy like that, because it ran. But it only ran on choke. It tells me that this gas that's in here might be salvageable, but he said that the gas has been in there for several years, and if you smell the gas tank, that is 150% true. So we know we have a good base here. By the way, that muffler is a little warm from running. I don't know if you would imagine that, but it is a tad on the warm side. Now I have to admit, oh crap, these are all Phillips heads. I have not messed with this style of carburetor in a very, very long time. So it's not going to start without the go juice. And let me tell you something. Smell that? That is not what you want to smell. Alright, so how... This ain't good because I don't have a normal Phillips head screwdriver with me. Or do I? Actually, I got one in the camper. Give me 1 second. Alright, I'm trying to do this, we'll call it live, even though it's not really live. As in, I'm not going to do a bunch of editing. I want you to see exactly how long it's taken me to work on this. Now, I love this screwdriver. It's one of my favorite Phillips ones I have. And funny thing is, it's probably, I've probably owned it longer than some of the people watching this video have been alive. It's definitely one of my favorites. So then, if that's, now to be fair, I've never worked on this model of generator before. There's an anti-vibration thingy. That's the official term for it. Oh, and that's the shut-off switch. We'll just let that hang there for right now. So I'm going to take this carburetor off of here. I want to try to not destroy this little rubber elbow. Oh, that goes into... one of the things I want to do is I want to get the gas tank off and drain it into... have a catch can over there. Trying to separate out parts as to what they came from. One of the hard things is I didn't order a carburetor rebuild kit for this. So if it ends up needing to be rebuilt, I may or may not be able to do that until another video. Oh man. That right there is no bueno. How can I get this tank off? It can't really be that simple, can it? It can't just be one bolt. The carburetor is now disconnected from the fuel tank. And there is a bolt right behind the gas tank holding the carburetor in place. This gasket, I hope I don't destroy this gasket completely, otherwise I will not be able to keep it running. Oh yeah, I can't pull that back. Let me get a couple wrenches. I wish I had my 10mm gear wrench with me. That would be ideal. I don't like working in gloves, but I might go do some lift runs later. And I just kind of want to, you know, not smell like gas when I do that. Alright, so that's the governor and its spring. And I don't mean Phil Murphy, who's the governor of New Jersey. I don't like... So what I'm going to do next, here's the carburetor. This is where it picks up fuel all the way down here. I'm going to drain this gas tank into a drain pan to later dispose of the gasoline properly. And that, oh, that is like varnish coming out of there. God, I wish I had a soak tank for this. I don't know how many people know this, but my very first job was as a lawnmower repairman. So I have some clue of what I'm doing. I just want to do this real quick just to see what happens. If I have it, it's set to on. Kind of want to clean out the Alright. So try to decide how I want to do this. Because if I put it in the if I put it in the chemical cleaner, I have to I'm going to have to remove the gasket that's on it, otherwise that's going to be destroyed by the cleaner. So I'm going to try to clean out as much as I can without disturbing this gasket. And I'm wondering how this main jet is right here. Now, before I hit start on the camera, I had filled up this air compressor. So that's good. The main jet is clean, because I don't remember how to get that out. Ooh, I'm sorry about your ears. I did not even think about that when I did that. So it is possible then that I will be able to just fill this thing up with gas, with good clean gas, and have a running generator. A couple things I forgot to clean out, but they look good, so I'm not going to worry about it. Kind of want to change my gloves because I need to itch my ear. And so what do you think? Will this come back together and run? Or am I going to need a carburetor rebuild kit? Let me get... I don't know if there was a gasket there. I hope not. Let's see something. Because I'm pretty sure this is... Yeah, that's the intake valve right there. So I don't even know how many watts this generator is. 2250. So it's bigger than that little tailgater that I have sitting right next to it, which I use to fill up the air compressor. So it looks like I don't have to put the carburetor in the bath. So far this really is just one take on camera. I have not hit pause. I have not hit, you know. Alright, so I need to put this carburetor back into the gas tank, which smells absolutely wretched. That goes down there. So I'm going to put this screw back in. The thing about these carburetors is, they're actually really pretty. They're actually a pretty good carburetor, and it's just been it's not a common one to see anymore because these mowers have to meet emissions now, and you really can't. They don't really meet the emissions the way they should, or the way the designs do. And this is just really, I'm not a fan of the way some of these work either. And nobody was going to remind me to put the governor spring back in. I'm disappointed in you. Might need to take this back out to do that, or maybe not. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take that back out. Because I want to do it right, and not just end up bending this rod and then the thing not run right. And I'm hoping you guys can hear me, because I am kind of mumbling and it's halfway across the, you guys are probably good 6 or 8 feet away from me. What I'm hooking up now is the governor spring. It's a little tiny spring that helps it return back to where it belongs. There's still some of that nasty gas in here. Where'd that bolt go? There's one of them. Well, this is all happening so fast that this carburetor is still pretty cool. Or I mean, this muffler is still pretty warm. Where'd that second screw go? Oh. Where did that just go? As you can see, even some experts can be, no, because that's going to cause a leak. I don't want. Excuse me, by the way. I'm about ready to take these gloves off because I can't really work. I'm tempted to put some 2-stroke in it, mainly because that can is actually easier to use. And I got plenty of brand new gas right there. I don't like this one bit. Because the bolt's a little too loose. Like it doesn't. This is very exciting, ain't it? I might speed this up in production. I don't know. Or I might just show you exactly how it works. And then I'll put this crankcase breather vent back in. I might, hopefully because it looks like that spring came off again. Hopefully, oh, this is actually a 3/8 and I have a 10 millimeter because I'm not smart like that. Alright, so the breather tube and its screw. It actually has a little clamp that holds it down. Hopefully this gas here, or the gas I have for it will... I'm missing a rod. The choke rod. That's no bueno. It wouldn't stop me from running it though, because I can force that myself. I'm just going to move the generator in a second to bind it. Let me put this bolt back in. So if you've ever wondered how one of these works, you have this on-off switch, right? And when you switch it to off, what it does is it grounds out this little switch here. And that'll, that shuts it down. I'm actually kind of concerned that I can't find this little rod. And I'm working out here in gravel, so God only knows. But it couldn't have gone far. I think I want to put some gas in it and try starting it without its that thing leaks. I forgot about that. So I could put some two-stroke in it. I don't know how much is in there. Looks like enough though. So I would warn you now, if you're watching with headphones. Okay, so we are on. We now have choke set. It has to pull fuel up. Let me put the cap back on. wonder if that has to do with trying to draw fuel up or what. Or it could be grounded out because of this. That's always a possibility as well. Let me put one of these screws in it. That's the other thing is I don't have, oh yeah, because without this screw, carburetor's not sealed completely. That could be it too. I also don't know what kind of games this guy has played with this. I need to find that choke rod. There we go. Kind of want to see what he's done with this this jet set in here. Now I know why Musty One's videos are always like 45 minutes. 'Cause you never. I'll start with a baseline, run it in until it bottoms out. Half, 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 1.5. And then I'll just hang you off of here for now. So you don't ground out. I don't know if I'm going to have to mess with that carburetor setting at all or not. There's usually two, like these kind of carburetors, like on these, there's usually only the one setting because, you know, these run at a constant speed. You're not, you know, it's not like a go-kart where you are running multiple speeds with it. I don't know what that was about. I do know that governor ain't set right. So I believe that is adjusted down here. No, it. Whew, man, that was something. I'm going to try to clean the machine off with air, mainly so I can run the air compressor down. So I'm going to run the air compressor down, and then I'm going to come back and finish up this video. Alright, so I also remembered that it was sucking in air through a couple things in the air cleaner box. Well, like the holes for it were required, and now I'm out of gloves, I know. This air filter is definitely got to be replaced. So I am going to come back to this. This is not going to be the last video on this because I want to get a carburetor rebuild kit for it. And I get a carburetor rebuild kit for it. Maybe paint it up a little bit. And then get ready to sell it. And I know that's weird. I don't usually sell things that are seen on my channel. So what I want to see now is whether or not this thing has output. Because if this doesn't have output, there is no sense in me finishing up with this. So let's. But in case you didn't hear that, it was running the compressor, which means this thing is good. So, to answer the question, will it run? Heck yeah, it will. Actually sounds like it runs pretty good. So, probably the next video on it, I'm going to try to look at that rewind, find out why it's, you know, sometimes it'll catch and then sometimes it won't. And now it's going to catch every time. I want to find out what happened with the choke rod and fix that. I don't see it down here. I'll probably find it in a few minutes. I want to change the oil in it. Maybe change the spark plug. By the way, it's warm. Would you believe it's warm after it's been running? And yeah, put a new air filter in it. Clean it up pretty good. And get this thing flipped and sold. So what do you think? Do you like more? Would you like more videos like this? Hit a thumbs up if you would. Thumbs down. But if you hit a thumbs down, give me a reason why. All right. So I know what. So I know what was wrong. And as always, like and subscribe. And I think I still have a Patreon. I've never really used it, so it's kind of hard to say whether I do or don't. And look what I just found. Look what I just found. So off camera, I'm going to go ahead and put this thing back together with the choke rod the way it should be. And get everything all buttoned back together. And I always appreciate you guys watching and hanging out while we're working on some random crap. Speaking of random crap, there will be on Monday night a little bit of a surprise live stream, sort of. If you didn't watch this video, it will be a surprise. If you did watch this video, it will not be. But here's what's actually happening. I am picking up a load of computers. Madam Roy knows about this because I asked him if he was in need of anything that was listed on that. And I see that can back there, right there. That's the carburetor dunk tank. It is for you soak carburetors in it and carburetor parts. And I brought it just in case I needed it. But guess what? This thing didn't need much work at all. I don't know if that main jet was clogged. I know that that little screen on the bottom of the carburetor was pretty gummed up. But and these were loose too, so the guy had this apart, try to work on it. I might get a gasket kit just so that I can well, have everything exactly how it should be. If I'm going to sell it, I don't want it to be I don't want there to be anything wrong with it unless I sell it as a parts machine, which I've done that in the past with other machines. Like I didn't feel like fixing them, or I didn't have the tools. But as you can see, working on small engines really isn't hard at all. It's pretty simple, actually. At least if you know what you're doing. And that's kind of what I'm hoping I can do for you guys, is show you how to work on these. Oh yeah, I gotta pull that screw out. I'm really glad I decided to look. And I know I said I was going to do this off camera, and now I'm doing it on camera. Gas cap wasn't on tight. And I just lost the... But I really hope you find at least some value in videos like this. I like doing videos where I can teach somebody something. And alright, so choke is on, choke is off. That rod is correct. If that's come correct. Yo, I had some dude on my way home from work. It took me like an hour. I work about 7 minutes away. I thought that dropped in the gas tank. The magnetic tip on this is starting to not be very magnetic. But I work about 7 minutes away from home. And it took me about an hour to get home because there was a car fire on the Delaware Memorial Bridge. I was actually supposed to meet the guy with those computers tonight, but luckily he understood the situation. There was actually an accident right next to where I work as well, and yeah, there was an accident right next to where I work as well, so I avoided that. I'm like, man, because the kid had, or I don't know if he's older than me or not, but I'm calling him a kid anyway. he's like, hey, you know, I had to be a certain place at a certain time, which happened to be 4:30. So, you know, I'm like, all right, well, I get out of work at 3, and I can shoot right up there because it was like a 20-minute ride. Well, this car fire stopped everything. Well, this dude, you know, I'm coming here, and he just decides he's going to almost take off my front end. So I blow the horn at him, understandably. He stops, gets out of his car, or out of his Ford Excursion, and starts walking towards me yelling as if I'm the one that did anything wrong. So, you know, I'm from America, and there are certain rights that I express, right? So this dude starts coming at me, yelling at me. So I start to reach underneath the seat, and he can see me reach under like I'm, you know, reaching for something. Because if you're gonna come at me, you better come prepared. I'm a peaceful guy. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to be involved in any fights. But you come at me, you best be prepared. You know what I mean? Not trying to sound like a tough guy or anything, but you know, don't be stupid. Right? So I think that's something we can all agree on is, you know, just don't be an idiot. And so as soon as he sees me reach under the seat, you know, he starts backing off. He's like, well, I don't want any trouble. I don't want any trouble. I'm like, so then why the hell did you stop your car in the middle of traffic after trying to take my front end off of my truck and act like you're going to come at me and square up? And he, starts getting back in his car. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Well, you know, I never actually pulled a weapon. I mean, I don't even know if I should even say what I'm talking about. It's still... So how are you going to stop your vehicle in the middle of traffic, get out of your car like a tough guy, and then go, oh, I don't want no trouble? So clearly you do, or else you wouldn't have been acting like a fool. You know, and I'm not even going to say whether or not I carry in my vehicle or not, because that's really not the point of this video. But you know, I'm just saying, like, how are you going to act like that and then go, oh, I don't want no trouble, I don't want no trouble? Then don't act like an asshole. Anyway, I think we're done with this video. It's very obvious that this thing runs. And I'm really glad I was able to bring you along on this journey. Wow, I can't believe I still have a full battery, man. It's been, I can't tell you when the last time I charged this thing was. But, anyway, if you have any thoughts on that, feel free to tell me. If you have any thoughts on the generator, or hell, if you're interested in buying it and you live local to New Jersey or Delaware, let me know also. I don't know what I'm going to sell it for. I'm not even going to say what I paid for it. But as you see, I obviously put in some work on it. And so there's that, you know, there is labor. And there may or may not be some videos coming out soon on this, on my camper. Coming up relatively soon. I know I didn't do a 10,000 mile review, but I'm going to be doing a 15,000 mile review because I'm at like 13.3, 13.4 right now. So I think I'm just going to skip 10,000 because clearly I did. But I do have some content coming up soon. one of the things I do like is I am able to use the camper as a makeshift studio to do some videos in. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Do one of these if you have to. But like I said, please just tell me what I did wrong. That'll help make videos better in the future. So anyway, I'm done rambling. Thanks for watching.